Hello and welcome back to the Puncher's Chance podcast with myself, Sam Hill, and as always, I'm joined by
Tovey
and
Ben Thomas.
And in today's episode, we're going to be having a look back at the Liverpool DAZN Matchroom card, having a look at the top tier show that we went to last weekend, previewing Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, Inoue versus Nery, and of course talking about a certain big fight in July that has been announced as a pro bout. Straight into last weekend's boxing. As I mentioned, we'll start with the Liverpool card because I think we're going to blab on about the top tier show that we went to for a little while. Junaid Boston beat Jack Martin quite impressively on that fight. I don't know what you said. You watched it live.
It was a really good fight. Unbelievable. He is. I want to talk about Ferreira though.
Yes,
that was it.
Course.
The fight was ruined with the cut. But have you heard this? She's going back to the Olympics to change her silver medal to a gold.
Fair play
in the summer.
Fair play.
Well, yeah. she's in the Olympic team, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she won her IBF World Lightweight, I think it was, for Beatriz Ferreira. Really impressive. She looks serious. She looks dangerous.
It's only her fifth fight as well.
Yeah, that's impressive. To get world title.
Fifth fight as a pro, and winning world titles.
I think it was... I can't remember. Obviously, we're going to have to get into this. I'd love to skip around it. Harry, the predictions.
Oh. Yep.
You came out on top.
Listen, there's levels to this game, and as we begin May, there's a lot of big fights, and May 18th, just saying.
Fair enough. And then, that was the one
Get nervous, boys.
That was the one that that let me down, I think, was I went for a Cameron Lozano win.
Well, I went for a points decision win, so the cut actually saved me. So.
Oh, of course, yeah, because it probably would have been a...
Judge's scorecard.
Yeah, fair enough.
Peter McGrail with a commanding performance as well in the main event.
Yeah,
I want him to get that rematch now against O'Quinn.
Yeah.
And that's the next fight for him. But yeah, these next gen cards, I think they're good because you get to see the future.
Yeah.
And I'm all for him.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it perfectly puts us on through to the top tier show that we were at. It's really nice to see what is the next level of top boxing, which I genuinely believe with some of those fighters there on Saturday was what we saw. I mean, that's the top tier. I think they call themselves the Academy of Boxing, I think is their Instagram bio. For those who don't know, top tier, Johnny Clark's promotion, they put on small hall shows, but they do it with a big show mentality. So they've got, media days and presses and pre-fight press conferences, and they have everything you'd imagine on a big show, but it's just small hall fighters. It was a really phenomenal show.
It's one of the best shows I've been to. Especially considering it's like, when you walk in there, you wouldn't think it's based where it is. It's in, obviously,
the Leisure Centre, the Brentwood Centre. It's mental.
When you walk in there, you think it's honestly no different to when I went and watched the boxer show
in the Motor Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You obviously, unfortunately, missed out, Harry.
I did miss it.
What I think we could do, obviously, I mean,
But I have watched the fights, though, and the one fight I think we're going to talk a lot about.
Yeah, that's the big one. What we'll do, because I don't think we got time to go through 8 fights, because, as much as we loved it and we could talk about it all day because we were there, not everyone was there, so the viewers don't necessarily have as much care, but we can go through a fight each necessarily. I'll let you have the Ben Crocker one, Harry, because I think
the weekend belonged to him, didn't it? The entire night belonged to Ben Crocker.
Yeah,
I did the preview or an interview piece with him before the fight, and I said, could Ben Crocker be the next face of Welsh boxing? He is. He's going to be now after that performance, and get that European fight now. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. I was watching it. I was just going to grab an interview with Harley Whitwell, one of the other fighters, and she was in the backstage where I was just watching from the sidelines, watching the Ben Crocker fight. And I was stood with, I think it was Edgar Kempsky, the nutter fighter, or a fighter, his team. And I came over after the second round and was like, oh, what's it been like? And they're like, it should have been stopped. Like, it should have been stopped already.
How it wasn't stopped at the end of the second round is crazy. Fair play to Stelios, he took a beating in the second round and managed to get to the end of the fight, and he pulled himself right back into it. Yeah. And it was very close in the end, but...
Was that second round a 10-8 round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I had it as a 10-8 round, because he hit Stelios twice, and twice he fell backwards. The only thing that kept him up was the ropes.
Yeah,
the ropes weren't there, he was going down, so...
I think we've got to say, absolutely, just without fail, fair play to Stelios, because everyone was saying, this should be stopped after 2 rounds because he's going to get hurt. This is looking dangerous now. And he didn't get hurt. Obviously, he got hurt in those first 2 rounds, but the rest of the fight was a very even
got dropped
fight.
in the third as well.
Yeah, but he won a number of those later rounds after such a tough start. So, like Johnny Clark said, that vindicates the decision not to stop the fight in a way, because he clearly did fight back into it, but it's one that you could see...
He's a very good fighter.
Has been stopped.
What was the score? 76-75?
Yeah, so it was a knockdown.
It was the knockdown that won for Ben in the end.
Yeah,
so they didn't score that second round then, a 10-8 then?
No, they didn't. And that gives Ben Crocker an IBF European title fight next, which is a vacant belt. So that would be it's going to look really, really good down at super lightweight now for Ben. Some of the Gary Lockett said is his natural weight category since he's gone pro. He used to fight a welter or even super welter sometimes. Gary Lockett always said, "Nah, you're at super lightweight," and I think the performance like that,
he looked
proved
huge,
it,
didn't he? As well.
I think the only thing he probably needs is more rounds in it, because you could see towards the end of the fight he was. I think it partly due to the second round he went all for it, like you said, but he hasn't had many. Is that his first 8-rounder or?
Yeah, so the reason that couldn't be the IBF European was because Ben hadn't had the rounds previously.
Yeah.
To qualify for it, they weren't willing to give it.
I think that's bad, there, in my opinion.
It's the way it goes.
If a fighter's willing to do it, then
but they have to put safety in place, I suppose.
Well, I think a good 10-rounder for him would be a good move. Get the rounds in. They didn't speak about who a potential opponent could be yet, but hopefully they'll get the title fight down in Swansea for him. So
rematch.
Yeah,
do you reckon they could do the rematch?
I don't know if it would make sense from Ben's point of view, because it was a close fight. It was a difficult fight. You could go up against somebody else, and it's only going to be as difficult. It could be easier. So I don't necessarily think it makes sense for him, but from a viewer's point of view and from a fan's point of view, absolutely, I'd watch that fight again.
Yeah,
every day of the week.
It was definitely the best
scrap.
fight of the night, wasn't it?
Top fight. What's your other fight you want to talk about though, Ben? I'll let you go next, then I can pick out. There's 2 that I want to talk about, so if you don't pick out one, then I'll pick out.
I think I know the 2 you might go for, so I'll go one that was early. I think it was the first card, Zachary Fee, is it?
It wasn't one I was going to go for, but it was a brilliant fight.
I was really impressed with him. I think he opened the show, and all his fight. I think that was his 4th pro fight. All of his fights have been on a top tier show, so he's had the experience of fighting in front of a crowd and having all the media and everything that comes with it. So I think he set himself up really well for a good career.
Yeah, I asked him about that in our post-fight interview, which is up on the channel. They're all a load of content from that event's up on the channel, so do check it out. But I said to Zach, I was like, look, you've had your 4th fight. You've had 4 shows on the top tier show. Not many fighters can say they've been on a show like that in their 4th fight, let alone all 4 of their first 4 fights. And he was like, it's a lucky experience, but the kid's talented. The kid is serious fighter. He's got really good... I mean, when a fighter just looks really comfortable in there, they just look really comfortable, just going about their business, and it never looked like he was going to get even touched, let alone hurt.
No, he won against an experienced journeyman as well, and won every round comfortably. It was a very good performance. Yeah,
Jake Pollard's had 67 fights now, including that one.
Yeah,
the guy's been about it. It's not one that you can do. And I think that maybe it sticks on my mind as well because it was like the first fight.
Yeah.
But the walkout and everything, it just felt like, whoa. But I think that was just because it was
He had good supporters only. You can tell a lot of people are behind him.
Was there a lot of support for Ben Crocker up there?
He had a group, he had a decent group. They were fairly loud.
There was a good feel for Stelios as well. There was quite a good atmosphere in there. So, but I think every fighter on the card had
a decent crowd,
and it was a really good night for everyone involved. Really, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I've now got the tough decision of.
We may as well talk about the other 2.
We'll talk about both of them. The first one, Konstantin Ursu.
An absolute monster,
an animal. Look him up. Watch his fights.
That was the other one I watched, and
honestly, he is the most impressive fighter I've seen live, without a doubt. The way he put away Bazzi Razak.
He didn't want to be there though. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know.
That body shot.
The thing
crippled him.
Yeah. After he got it with that, he was like, "Yeah, let's get out of here."
The thing with Bazzi Razak is he did want to be there before the fight. Constantine, him and Johnny have been very open about the fact they find it very difficult to find opponents. No one wants to fight Konstantin.
He
said thank you to his opponent for even getting in the ring with him. And within about a minute, He had him down on the floor with a 9-second count for a body shot, and it was long night from there.
The funny thing is as well, he told Johnny on fight day, he was like, "I'm gonna have to get this done by about 3 rounds because I need to get home early for something."
And he did. He got it finished in the 3rd.
What time did it finish as well then? The night was it
about 11 o'clock?
11?
It ran a little bit over, but the fact that one was a finish made it a reasonable finish time.
We were wandering out at the same time as Constantine. He just had his rucksack.
Literally, after the fight, got changed. I don't even think he had a shower. Just put on a flannel shirt, some jeans, some Converse, and just walked out the venue. And I was like, yeah, fair play. The kid.
That's proper boxing, though, isn't it?
He's a serious talent.
He'll go to the very top. He'll get a world title shot in his career. There's no way.
There's the welterweight division that's going to want to fight him.
No, you wouldn't.
Very good.
Very scary. And he's just got he's got a bit of an aura about him. I don't know if it's the Eastern European and his English wasn't great, so maybe it was just like a sort of, but he just had an aura of kind of like mystery and just kind of like turns up, does the business,
good support
goes home
as well.
Yeah, he did actually, to be fair. The other one that I was going to give a massive shout out to was Amy Andrew. Beat Lindsay Bushinsky unanimously. Comfortable victory for the Commonwealth featherweight title. I thought Amy looked really good. We've seen Lindsay fight a really good prospect in Victoria Perkins and make easy work of it. That was not easy work for Lindsay. Lindsay's a good fighter, and Amy, did really well. Really, really well.
Yeah, obviously it was the first time we'd seen Amy fight, but after watching Lindsay, I think we were going into it expecting her to be the favourite, and I think she might have been slight favourite heading into it in terms of experience and stuff, but Amy really went for it. She done really well, and she was just proper digging it in every round, and I'm not sure what the scorecards were in the end.
98, 92 and 99, 91, I think.
Yeah, it was...
So
she took a good few rounds.
Yeah, and the thing is with Amy that's really impressive as well, she had a kid not that long ago, has come back into boxing since having a kid, come back. Wow. I think she went 4 fights, had a kid, came back, and is now the Commonwealth title holder. Champion. I'm sure she'll kick on as well. In that featherweight division. It's featherweight division same as our good friend Elizabeth, isn't it? Or is that super feather? I always forget. Let me have a look. Featherweight, yeah. So she's the WBC silver featherweight.
Elizabeth then.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. But it's a good division in women's boxing at the moment. You've obviously got Amanda Serrano, Sky Nicholson,
Katie Taylor.
Oh, that's the other thing. One of the fighters, the on-the-way fighters, had fought, if I remember correctly.
Can I say it? Because I think I know what you're going to say.
What's
fought Katie Taylor on her debut.
Fought Katie Taylor, Chantal Cameron, Nina Menke, Tasha Jonas, Raven Chapman even, I think. She fought 5 people who've gone on to win a world title. Mental.
Who was the one that fought her?
It was Harley Whitwell.
She was very good as well.
Yeah, I think she's back in June.
June, isn't she? So.
Yeah. In short, an unbelievable show, a lot of really great fighters. Like I said, a lot of the content up on the channel. The next show, June 29th, Saturday, June 29th, I think it is. Or you got the media day on May 25th, same day as Taylor Cattrall. So if anyone's listening, likes a bit of what we said, check it out, because, they were unbelievable shows.
If you're going to watch any show, we'll definitely get involved with Top Tier, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm, if you're listening, Dan or Richie, we love you guys. Chris Hanegart.
I know I wasn't there, mine, but when I'd watched it from TV, I thought, this is better than Channel 5, what you get on Channel 5 with all the flames going up as you were walking down.
It was a proper setup.
It was so slick.
You would never have thought it's they call themselves small all shows.
There's nothing small about what I've seen on TV. Compared to what you see with Wasserman and what they do. I'm just saying.
It was so slick.
And if
everything was so slick.
If there's a potential deal coming up with Sky Sports and they are boxing, depending on what's happening there, then I think they slip into that perfectly, don't they?
Imagine a 5v5 with him and GBM Sports.
Yeah,
they're an up-and-coming boxing promoter.
We asked Johnny about it, and he I mean, obviously you've got, I think it's Nielsen TM14, I think, doing a 10v10. And Johnny basically said, I could do a 5v5, but why would I? I've got 50-50 fights on every one of my cards. Why bother doing it with someone else when I can put on 50-50 fights of my own on an event like that? And it's like, do you know what? It's hard to argue with it. If you're good enough to do it yourself, why wander on anyone else?
Yeah, I suppose he's just trying to grow his own brand, isn't he? But
Yeah.
the 5v5, the whole 5v5 thing, I think, is going to become a bit of a popular thing amongst small hall in it for the future.
Yeah.
It's just an easy way to sell tickets. Isn't it?
And it's also an easy way to make good fights, because obviously your fighters sign up for it.
Yeah.
And so they will fight and they have to fight, and you can make, you don't necessarily have to try and convince them with huge amounts of money to make these difficult fights. Speaking of huge amounts of money, maybe not speaking about difficult fight, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Should we talk about what else happened on Saturday night as well?
What else did
Before we
happen on
talk about
Saturday?
this massive topic that's going to get... Virgil Ortiz got his first round stoppage.
Yes.
Which means now that Tim Tszyu fight, August 3rd's on. Also on the card, Jose Ramirez, I don't know if you boys seen it, beat Rances Barthélemy. Up to round 8, I thought, bloody hell, this is a hell of a fight. And then because Barthélemy, like Ryan Garcia was doing last week, was causing Ramirez so much trouble with that left hook. And yeah, you boys missed a decent fight there.
Yeah, we
Go
did.
back and check it out.
I'll have to catch up.
I've only watched it because I've got a subscription to DAZN and I want to get my money's worth.
Yeah, with
I even
hikes.
saw myself watching Most Valuable Promotions as well.
Oh,
and,
shocking that. Disgusting. Anyway,
I'll
speaking
be
of
watching them again.
obviously Most Valuable Promotions, you've got Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on Netflix. It's officially sanctioned as a pro bout. What that means is it'll go down as a loss on either fighter's record. It's an official fight. It's, I believe, something like 10 2-minute rounds.
2-minute rounds.
8 2-minute rounds. My first reaction when I heard it and when Harry put it on the chat was like, wow, fair play. I didn't expect them to actually do it or get it as a pro fight. And then I sat and thought on it a bit. Why is Mike Tyson... First of all, why is it 8 2-minute rounds and it's being sanctioned as a pro bout? If you tried to get two up-and-coming fighters and said, we want to do 8 2-minute rounds as a pro fight, the board would laugh in their face. They go, no, we're not doing that. What are you on about?
Yeah, but we're talking about the Texas Commission.
And then,
I thought it was quite funny. Dave Colwell came out with something, Tony Belly's former coach and massive coach in British boxing. He said, listen, boxing at the moment is flying right now with the great fights we're seeing getting made. But then along comes the Texas Commission. Stick this one in the bin. A 58-year-old who hasn't fought professionally for almost 20 years is fighting someone, what we'd say now, 30 years younger?
Yeah, near enough.
14-ounce gloves, 8 2-minute rounds. This ain't professional boxing.
That's the other thing, 14-ounce gloves. Yeah, so it's just a glorified spar, but then it's going to go on Mike Tyson's... It's going to go as a loss to Mike Tyson. He's going to get flattened.
It's sad what money can do.
It is money on it. I think it's probably going to go down as the most viewed boxing fight of the year.
Probably, and it's going to be...
It's going to be because of that, because Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano are the co-main event.
Anyone with a Netflix subscription is probably going to click on that and think, Mike Tyson's fighting.
It's going to be unbelievably sad to watch Mike Tyson get battered. Because I wholeheartedly believe he will.
I hope he gets in there and has a good showing of it, but
just
everything
non-stop.
just you just don't want him to go be remembered in a way, do you?
No, I'm not going to be convinced by any content that anyone puts out for Mike Tyson going, look how good he looks. I don't care. Me and Harry could go into that room with a pair of pads and gloves, spend an hour learning a routine, and Harry could look pretty mint. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to beat them. Do you know what I mean? So whatever content gets put out to make Mike Tyson is, like I said previously, Jake will pick an opponent that makes himself look good, makes everyone think, but he could lose, and then he'll flatten him. And it's
that's a sad thing, though.
It will just rinse and repeat.
He's bringing people into boxing that have never watched boxing before, and now Mike Tyson could be remembered as the guy that got stopped by Jake Paul.
Yeah, the next generation of boxing fans are just going to think,
Mike Tyson's washed. He was never that good.
The guy who Jake Paul beat.
Mental.
He's going to have 2 rounds where he's just going to swing like fuck at him.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul's probably just going to sit in the corner, take the punches until he's burnt out, and then just win the rest of the rounds easily.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'd love to see Mike Tyson go in there and flatten him. I honestly would, but
I don't think it's going to happen. I think
it's just sad, though, ain't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I
can't believe they're talking about Mike Tyson fighting in 2024.
Yeah, it's what 20
against Jake Paul as well.
20 years after his retirement.
I thought we would see him against John Fury, not Jake Paul.
He needs to.
Jesus.
Yeah, I want to see Mike Tyson, looking after his pigeons and doing Hangover movie cameos and stick to that sort of thing. Like, it's not.
At least one positive, I can see Mike Tyson fight. Not live, but on live telly in my lifetime.
True, yeah.
So. Yeah, you never thought you'd be able to say that.
You're not flying out there for it, Harry? You know, fancy it?
I get back off holidays the day before, so I could get back on another plane.
Nah, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't. Even if I could, I wouldn't.
I think if I did it, it would be not because of that fight. It would be for Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano.
That's the positive from it, is we're getting that trilogy.
But people are overlooking it, I think. That massive fight.
That should... Hopefully they put that as like the main event, because that deserves...
Yeah, I think it should be.
I don't think it's going to, will it?
No.
If you're going to give credit to Jake Paul, which is something I don't necessarily think I find myself saying all too often, but if you are, you've got to say their aim to get Amanda Serrano onto main event shows. They've tried it previously. Obviously, there was an issue with pre-fight and stuff, but they're like that. In that sense, the utmost respect. If they put it on the undercard of this,
probably the biggest fight in women's boxing.
It will be an absolute farce if they put that on as an undercard.
It is probably the biggest fight in women's boxing.
Yeah, bar I think when
in terms of what them two have done for women's boxing.
When Sky Nicholson eventually gets the Serrano fight, I think that might be a bigger fight.
Australia as well.
I don't think you get bigger. What Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano have done for women's boxing.
Yeah. Up to this point,
don't get bigger than them two.
No. But Sky is Miss Matchroom, isn't she? She's like the face of Matchroom at the moment. And I think when that fight happens, if Amanda Serrano beats Katie Taylor, then that will be a huge fight. And obviously you've got as well, with it's popped into my head, Chantal Cameron has now officially left Matchroom. They've officially terminated her contract with them, which is interesting. When you think back, I think it was a year or two ago, Ellie Scottney was meant to be fighting on the undercard of a Chantal Cameron fight, and it was removed by Chantal Cameron's request, and now Ellie Scottney's got a world title under Matchroom, and Chantal Cameron's no longer with them. It's a strange jump.
It's weird, ain't it? Boxing. It's weird.
It is. There's not like it. Like, as soon as you watch
Nout like it. Yeah.
Ever so often you watch a boring fight and you think, oh, why do I like this sport? And then something comes around, you're like, yeah, you know what? That's why I want.
It's not, the answer ain't Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, is it?
No, it's like Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark, or just British title fights. Just give us more British title fights and I'll be happy. That's all I want.
I'll tell you what, though, if you're not a boxing fan, I think there's going to be a better month ever to get involved in boxing. Oh, yeah,
May is serious. I mean, you've got what? So you've got
summer.
You've literally got every
Canelo, Munguia, Inoue, Nery, and then you've got Price McCaskill, Fury, Usyk,
Cordina, Jayapataya as well on that card.
Yeah,
and on that card, 50-50, Ajit Kayabel and Frank Sanchez.
Yeah, and then you've got Cattrall Taylor on the 25th.
Keep going up to June
1st. You've got the 5v5, and you've got
Chris Bellum-Smith, Richard
Bivol versus Beterbiev. You've got mental times.
Literally every weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to be busy boys. We're going to be knackered by the end of this.
Talk about having a summer off.
Yeah, no. No, we're going to get to September and be like, oh, thank God.
And then we're back in uni.
We're back at uni. No. We've got no time left. Nah, it's going to be mental.
It's good though, ain't it? I think we've come into boxing at the right time.
Oh, without I
don't think I've ever had years in boxing where it's been so you've had years where there's some big fights, but
no,
not really amount
pre-COVID. It was quite bad, wasn't it? Let's be honest. But this year now, since Fury and Ngannou, I think boxing's just.
I think after the Wallin fight, I think I said, boxing's back to where it was when pre-AJ Ruiz. For me, I don't know why that marks the downfall of boxing for me. I think just because the AJ hype died and Fury Wilder was great, but in hindsight,
you don't want to see that.
Wilder maybe wasn't quite as good as we all thought he was. These sorts of things. Whereas now, not only is it back, but it's better.
It's not just you're not just looking forward to the heavyweight fights now. It's fights in every division.
Look at that 5v5. I'm looking forward to Ray Ford against Nick Bull. To Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder. That fight's incredible. And you're looking Hamza Shiraz as well. Oh.
It's just it's great. And even right down at the bottom, fighters like Jay Harris, like Sonny Edwards, that right down in the lower weight classes that previously you kind of ignored because everything else has got so much hype around it. Everything's being picked up by it. It's great.
And then the domestic scene as well now, Welsh boxing. They're starting to catch on to it, and we got 2 Welsh title fights in one night. That's just
June 1st as well, yeah. Biggest fights on June 1st, that is. Ethan George versus Ryan Pocock. And,
what a fight! It's
Jake Tinklin versus Angelo Dragone.
another great fight.
It's a nice
Third time lucky.
Nice
hopefully.
warm up for Tovey Bivol.
Yeah. 2 50-50 fights ready for a
Part of me
small
thinks they're going to
clash.
do that Tovey Bivol late in the night, like start.
It should be the main event, surely.
It's got to be the main event.
Turkey Al Sheikh. It's the Champions League final. That's the only downside to it. I think having it on June 1st. It's just a day full of sport, and they're going up against. What would you boys say? The Champions League final is the biggest final, bar the World Cup final in football.
Yeah.
And they're going up against that.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's why I reckon.
Yeah, but by the time the fights start, the Champions League's probably going to be over. Isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the 5v5 as well for the British fans.
Like, no one's going to see me that day other than you two boys.
Mm.
Like, my girlfriend, my family are going to be like, "Where's Sam? What's happened?"
Get a search party out for you.
Just jump in from sport
They got
to
the
sport.
playoff final that day as well.
No, the playoff final is...
Not the Leeds are going to be here, but...
Oh, of course, yeah. May...
What are you wearing there?
25th.
I thought you were Leeds.
This
massive Leeds
is
supporter.
This was because I was a guest on a podcast, and Leeds haven't been in Europe since 2001, and Cardiff Ladies are obviously a Champions League side,
Good
so
save,
I had to
good
wear
save.
where it's the only European side I had in my wardrobe.
We'll just tag in the Leeds supporters club now and just show you a picture. This is a Leeds fan.
No, please don't. Please, no. Have me back.
Leeds.
Big fight this weekend. Canelo Alvarez.
What about the other announcement that we're completely forgetting?
What's that?
Terrence Crawford and Israel Madrimov is fighting.
Had that not been announced last time?
It was Wednesday.
Oh, Christ.
It was Wednesday.
This is the thing. So much is happening in boxing.
You can't keep up.
keep up with everything.
We can't.
We write a list
that
down,
is-
but that list is just okay.
It's
there's
outdated.
5 points, and then another 5 news stories comes out.
Yeah, so yeah, of course, that's a
Unbelievable.
huge
That's
card
a hell of a fight.
in New York. It's the first Riyadh season card outside of Saudi Arabia.
Which is it's good for British fans as well, because Turkey Al Sheikh's leaving Saudi Arabia now, which
Yeah,
hopefully
he's
means
We'll get one
we
in
get a
London.
Wembley.
Yeah,
I
think it's pretty set in stone.
I think
Not
we're
that it's been announced, but I think we're going to get one in
I
September.
think we're going to get an Anthony Joshua fighting
AJ Dubois.
AJ Dubois.
Imagine.
If Dubois beats Hrgovic, which I think I would edge on him doing at the moment.
Okay.
I just think when you look at how he
That'll be
performed
for
against
the IBF or title as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, when you look at how he performed against Usyk, if he performs like that against Hrgovic, I think he's in for a good night.
Fair enough.
But yeah, AJ Dubois in Wembley that'd be tidy. That would.
Card though,
with a
August
5v5 underneath there as well.
But yeah, that, like you said, that card with
that'll be good. Yeah.
Terrence Crawford, Madrimov. You've got
Andy
Cruz
Cruz
on the card. There's some top fights.
Tim
top
Tszyu,
fighters.
Virgil Ortiz Jr., unbelievable.
Oof.
The only problem about the card is our mate, the worst boxer. I mean, I'm not being funny. Why is he in a boxing ring still? The
Who's
drug
this?
sheet that
Yes.
is
Big Baby.
Jarrell,
God.
Big Baby Miller.
It's gone.
What? Why are they
They
giving
needed
him?
someone for Andy Ruiz.
Yeah,
then.
but there's so
Yeah.
many other fights out there. He's talking about putting Jared Anderson on the card against Deontay Wilder.
The real big baby, Jared Anderson. He's actually,
Jared
he's
Anderson,
also
Andy
a big
Ruiz
baby.
Jr. is a bigger fight. Andy Ruiz Jr. Michael Hunter is a bigger fight.
How
I
Not
think
Jarrell Miller.
Andy Ruiz is trying to be very smart with who he picks to fight,
Yeah,
doesn't
but
he?
why,
Oh, yeah.
why are they letting Jarrell Miller back in?
ever since he beat AJ, he was like, unless you're paying me a fuck ton of money,
Yeah,
then I'm not fighting no one. And he hasn't fought in about since he beat AJ.
lost a hell of a lot
He's
of weight,
fought
mind.
Lewis Ortiz, I want to say. But again,
Yeah, but
Lewis
yeah.
Ortiz is on the
When's the
on his
last
way
time
out.
we've seen him in a ring? About
Exactly.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
He
It
should-
shouldn't be
like,
against
after he-
Jarrell
after he
Miller, though. I
beat
think we can all
AJ,
agree with that.
He should have gone on the fucking run of his life in terms of fighting anyone he could and getting as much money.
yeah.
But he decided to sit.
I thought Miller was in jail last time we mentioned him on the
Nah, he's
podcast. He was arrested
he's back out.
I just
for assaulting
there's
a car
so many
dealership.
many other fights they could have done for Andy Ruiz Jr.
Yeah,
They've landed
true.
on Jarrell Miller.
True.
It might be because of what Ben said, though. Andy Ruiz Jr. asks for so much money, and then they're only left with a small portion of money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think Jarrell Miller would probably
He's not going to
demand
pay
a fair.
peanuts.
Probably demands a
He's got
fair.
all them legal fees to pay for, probably.
Yeah, true.
The other thing as well, at the press conference, when he came up on stage, he shook hands with Eddie Hearn. So maybe their
Mental.
beef is now put to one side.
That's another one for his
Just for
5v5
show.
in September.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine we got up there and he had to interview.
You had Eddie Hearn with
Big Baby
Deontay Wilder, Jarrell Miller, all his enemies.
Probably won't be allowed in the country, Jarrell Miller, but there we go.
Yeah, maybe not.
I can't believe he's on the card. But,
Yeah.
oh well.
Never
Hopefully
mind.
Ruiz does what Dubois does and stops him.
That would be nice. It would be nice. That Dubois fight was like, it was like it would remember when Vic scored in the Sidemen charity match. That's what it felt like. Everyone was just like, come on, Dubois, just fucking do it. It was
Or if we're talking to boxing fans, when AJ stopped Klitschko.
Yes, something like that.
That Vic feeling, the same feeling.
Yeah, it was. That's what it felt like. Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia, this Saturday in where is it? In
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada, in the T-Mobile Arena. IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO, World Super Middle. What a fight. 62-2 versus 43-0. Jaime Munguia.
That's a lot of fights in it between two of them.
Yeah,
what was it? Do the maths quickly, boys.
107.
Well done.
Quick maths, me. Unbelievable fight. And what we'll do our predictions that we always do on the Boxing News app. We won't do it now. We'll just talk about this card for a bit, because I think we'll talk about this fight, then we'll talk about Inoue, and then we'll do the predictions at the end. So stick about for those to hear my correct predictions for the weekend. Is this a tough test for Canelo? Or is it one that you think people are picking up more than they should? Where do you stand with it?
I think it's an hard fight. I think, we're obviously going to get on to predictions. I don't think he loses here, but
no.
I think Munguia is a very tidy fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one that sticks into my mind is a 21-year-old Munguia beating Liam Smith in pretty convincing fashion. He's young then. They can't... On paper, you couldn't necessarily pick many more difficult opponents for Canelo within the super middle division.
There's one, and he's ducked. And it's clear that he's ducked it with this fight. Let's be honest.
I think
$200 million. You can't do that in America with $200 million. That's in Saudi. That's Saudi money.
Yeah.
He's ducked David Benavidez, in my opinion.
I certainly think he has avoided that fight for now.
I don't get why, though. Imagine if that... you went earlier on, look at these fights on the upcoming weeks. Imagine if this Saturday night it was Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez. Oh my God.
Yeah, it would be big. It's huge, but...
I think they wanted this fight as well, weren't they? Two massive Mexican stars.
Yeah, because what is it? It's something Mexican... It's like Mexican Independence.
No, it's Cinco de Mayo the day after.
That's what it's called.
Which is a big Mexican
It's going to be out of an atmosphere then.
So yeah, you've got 4th of May, you've got Alvarez Munguia, and then Cinco de Mayo on the Sunday. So yeah, it should be a really good... or I suppose it'll be Sunday morning for us anyway. Mm-hmm. I won't be staying up for it. But it will be a really good fight.
I think I might... What, is it on DAZN?
Yes.
And 23,
I
think it's on Panama Channel 13 as well, if that's the other place you can watch it.
Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weatherspoons.
That's why I'll be watching it, because there's enough fights to pay for over the month. So.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to...
We'll support boxing that way,
Yeah. Yeah,
I think the only way you can compare these two is they fight with John Ryder, isn't it? I think that's why Munguia fought him
as well.
Yeah, it would make sense.
They both fought Liam Smith that way.
But look at Canelo Alvarez's record, man, from 2016. The names: Amir Khan, Liam Smith, Julius Caesar Chavez Jr., Gennady Golovkin back-to-back, Rocky Fielding, Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, Callum Smith, Avni Yildirim. I think, can we all agree that maybe this fight is a bit like that Avni Yildirim fight?
I don't know.
Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. That was a massive statement against Caleb Plant. And then you maybe thought, oh, hang on, we could be getting some bigger names now. And then he went Dmitry Bivol, lost, but fair play for him. He was brave doing that fight. Gennady Golovkin again, and then John Ryder and Jamel Charlo. So
some big fights.
It's some big names, and that's from 2016.
Munguia's a very good fighter, though.
He is.
I think he's going to get.
But he's not on the same level as Canelo Alvarez.
I think it'll just be experience that pays off for him.
And he hasn't had a stoppage, Canelo Alvarez, since that Billy Joe Saunders fight. So Caleb Plant. Sorry,
I would not be totally shocked if Munguia pulls it off on Saturday.
No, I wouldn't be unbelievably surprised. We'll save that for now, because we'll go on to the predictions at the end. The other fight, obviously, on Monday night in Japan, you've got Inoue versus Nery. You've got Takuma Inoue fighting for the WBA World Bantam.
That'll be Monday morning for us, won't it?
Yeah, you've got...
potentially do a live stream for that.
You've got Jason Maloney as well, of course, who beat Sal Sanchez on the undercard of Beterbiev Smith, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was over in Canada, so he's a top to fight. There's 4 world title fights, 7 world titles on the line in that night.
Not bad for a Monday morning.
It's not bad.
50,000 fans as well in attendance at that Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
You watch a bit of wrestling, don't you? Have you ever seen the Tokyo Dome, New Japan? Yeah.
Boxing's massive out there at the minute.
Yeah, and I did some research about it, and 50,000 fans would be in attendance at the Dome. It's the first time the venue has hosted a boxing event since who fought there last?
Muhammad Ali.
We were talking about him just a few moments ago. And we were talking about how sad we will feel about the person beating him.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson fought James Buster Douglas in 1990.
Of course he did, yeah. I didn't know that was there.
I never knew he fought in Japan, Mike.
No, neither. Fair play.
I know.
Did Muhammad Ali fight there?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'll have a look now.
I think the thing with this one is a lot of people struggle to be so invested into Inoue's fights because they're always happening in Japan.
He needs to leave Japan.
And, if he was to get a big fight
out of Japan.
He's had a couple.
He had one in Glasgow.
Yeah, he did. Weird, a bizarre place to go as you're only one of your few internationals. But the guy is a pound for pound great.
Muhammad Ali did fight in
Tokyo Dome or
Japan?
Japan?
I think it was against a wrestler.
I don't know then.
Yeah,
against
1976 when Japanese wrestling star Antonio Inoue faced the undisputed world heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali in Japan.
I knew I had it in my head from somewhere.
Yeah. As I was saying, sorry, Inoue he's a pound for pound great of the sport. He's unbelievable. I don't think there's anyone
the monster
around him in his weight categories that will beat him on 99 days out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think we're talking about a Floyd Mayweather kind of record when he retires, because I think he is active, he gets lots of fights, and I don't see anyone beating him. I really don't.
Do you reckon Liam Davis beats him?
No, I don't.
Yeah, the question you should be asking though: do you reckon he's going to fight outside of Japan before his career's over?
I'd love to see Liam Davis in the UK.
Yeah, that would be nice.
He should come to the UK.
What an absolute scrap that would be.
It would be a good fight. Okay, the predictions.
Oh,
the
God.
big point to finish it off. It's the Canelo. It's on the Boxing News.
That's what everyone tunes in for, by the way.
No one's.
He's all up for it now. Look, he's got a point.
Now he's winning. So it's what? Is it 2-2? Is it 2-2-1 or 3-2-1?
3-2-1.
So 3 wins for you, 2 for me, 1 for Harry.
He's on his way back. We're Wolverhampton. We're on our way back. We didn't even talk about the undercard of this.
Yeah, we're going to have to now.
Vito. Right.
So right down at the bottom, Vito Mielnicki Jr. versus Ronald Cruz, 10 round super welterweight. I'm going for a Mielnicki Jr. knockout.
Going to do some quick research about Ronald Cruz here. Just to be
31, I think he is.
I'm going to go Mielnicki Jr. points decision.
Yeah, I've gone for a points decision as well.
Fair enough. This is where I'm different. I think the thing is, I just love the Mexican fighters tend to have pretty damn good, knockout rates, don't they? So hopefully we'll be getting some.
I only do it for the fun of these as well. These predictions.
I'm gonna go on the next one: Elementas Styonnis versus Jarrell Maestre, welterweight, 12 rounds. Styonnis points decision.
Yeah, I've gone the same. It's gonna be a lot of point decisions.
What are you saying?
Is there undefeated against undefeated fighters? Somebody's always got to go.
Yeah, Maestre's got a draw, I think.
12 rounder. It's for the WBA World Welterweight title. So, yeah, I agree.
You're going for decision.
Styonnis. Yeah, points decision. So
then you got Mario Barrios versus Fabian Maidana, 12 round welterweight clash.
No, that's not the fight of the night.
I've gone for Barrios KO on that fight.
Need to do my research again.
I do think Barrios is gonna win. He's got the high advantage, but I never predict an Argentinian to get knocked out, and I'm not gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna.
I'm gonna agree with Sam on that one.
They just don't get knocked out, do they?
Well, Brandon Scott, our friend of our channel, never wants to fight them again, do they?
Brandon Figueroa, Jesse Magdaleno, featherweight 12-rounder.
Fight of the night, this will be.
Yeah, it looks like a really good fight, this. Really, really good fight.
Figueroa points. Bloody hell, Harry. I'm going for too many points.
I think I'm going Figueroa knockout. I'll back him to do it. I think he's got a significant reach advantage.
Let's just search up. I need to do the research.
And as a fellow long-armed man, I'm going to back him to...
Figueroa points I've got.
You've gone for. Fair enough.
Hang on. Brandon...
How shocking this is.
It's not shocking. I'm getting detailed now into it. I'm getting like...
Stressing.
He's fought Lewis Nery.
He had.
He's not fighting... Is he fighting? Yeah. He beat...
I think it was his only loss, wasn't it? Figueroa?
No, he beat him by KO.
Did he?
He beat him by KO. Oof. So I'm going to go buy a KO for this one.
There we go.
Look at that. The
Canelo
insight.
Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. I'm not letting you research anything for this, because if you have to, that's embarrassing.
Let me do my research. No, I'm joking. I've already got it.
What are you going for?
Oh, I've just seen what Ben's put, and I can't believe it. Canelo Alvarez. Does he make a statement? That's all I want to know. Does he... I'm trying to think. Is he going to try and stop him to make a statement, and then David Benavidez is going to be ringside, and he's going to be like, "You're next, mate. Get up here," and by KO and him. I think Canelo Alvarez stops
Munguia. You've gone for stoppage. I've gone Canelo Alvarez decision.
Yeah,
just because I think
you went Munguia decision when I looked over.
Yeah, I was just winding you up.
Look at that.
I think Canelo's. He's not.
It'll probably happen now though.
He's not the pressure fighter and the energy fighter that he once was, but I think he'll bully Munguia. He just looks...
I think that just experience will play a part.
Too good.
He'll just win too many rounds.
1, 2, 3 decisions and 2 knockouts. So in terms of the rounds, I'm looking at...
I've got 2 decisions and 2 knockouts. That's what 31.68 to 1 minus.
that's actually pretty low, isn't it? You've gone pretty basic.
Listen, my predictions don't lie. What about Inoue then?
Mine won't let me submit. What have I gone?
55 rounds I've gone for.
What?
8 to 1.
8 to 1.
8 to 1. I've gone very boring on this one. Sorry, boys. I apologise for the lack of entertainment from me.
What about the Inoue card then? Are we going to do predictions for that one as well?
Nah, we'll stick to this one for this.
I don't really understand my Arcos count. 3,019 to 50.
What?
I don't know what that means, but stick money on it. Put money on it, bud.
I'll just chuck 50 quid on.
50 quid.
And you get 3,000
back. The budget of the podcast on.
Yeah. Well, we've got we'll get the we'll get a sponsorship opportunity come in hopefully soon.
Imagine.
And
touch
and you can stick it on your
yeah, we need a betting sponsor to.
We
Why?
Most people end up with betting sponsors, but I don't think many people seek out. Go, yeah, I want my money coming from betting.
If anyone wants to give me money, I'm all now.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Especially
you need to be careful though when you say that.
Especially if they get it gambling.
Don't be like,
no, that's not for me.
No.
What's
There's a certain.
Is there anything you wouldn't? Back up. You wouldn't sponsor. You wouldn't have.
It's all according to how many zeros.
Got the video cameras on. Is there anything you wouldn't do, no matter what the money was?
Go on, Ben.
I'll take any money.
Anything. Yeah. Anything.
Bloody hell. All right, we'll talk after.
I wouldn't.
That didn't sound very.
We'll get the promoter. We'll get a video package together now of an advert for the Punctures Chance podcast, and we'll have him do something.
I wouldn't promote Man United. I wouldn't promote Man United. You couldn't give me enough money to promote them.
That wearing an England shirt or something would probably be mine.
Really?
In England rugby shirt. Football one, I'm okay with.
Okay, seeing as the fact that you're not going to sing the Ukrainian national anthem.
Have you got an England rugby shirt?
No, I've got a football shirt. I could buy one.
I'm more than happy to wear an England football. No.
Okay,
well, I'm a proud Welshman. I'm a proud Welshman.
Okay, when Usyk beats Fury, because you're going to sing the Ukrainian national anthem, are you going to do it? Because I don't believe you will.
I'll try it, but I think we'll get cancelled for doing it.
No, I will. We might get a copyright strike. How well I'm going to sing American Pie on this channel if.
But you nearly said when Fury beats.
But he's not gonna. So I don't need to. But if we did, you're going to get a copyright strike on the channel. That's how good.
Do you know, I used to like watching these fight nights, nice and relaxed on a Saturday night. Now I'm on the edge of the seat. Come on.
It makes it interesting.
It does make it interesting.
It does. A little bit of
needle. You got Ben messaging in. That's 5 points for me.
Yeah, we were distracted this weekend and you won. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Don't watch this weekend and I'll win.
I don't know if I'll be watching this weekend. I'll watch the next morning, obviously.
Yeah, so. You'll be sending me the link to watch.
The Canelo fight starts at like 5 o'clock. So.
Yeah, I might wake up for it. Anyway,
I don't know about
we can talk about our weekend plans over lunch later, but for now, that pretty much wraps it up for the episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, all the top tier content is top tier and on our YouTube channel, The Puncher's Chance Podcast, Spotify for full episodes, Twitter for previews, for news reports, as Harry said, he interviewed Ben Crocker, all of that good stuff. Other than that, check any out. Just check everything out. Look at everything at once. Get all the tabs open. Subscribe, follow, like. What else can you do? Listen.
Subscribe,
follow, share, save for later, watch later. Download, edit into short, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you all next week for another episode.